Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Tickle here. So today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I love this channel, Bora City Magazine channel, and she recently dropped this Respect Your Seniors, Mock Your Juniors, BTS Lesson on Respect. So I was like, I don't ever react to none of her videos. The ones I've seen, she got a lot, so I haven't seen them all. But her discography video is what I use to do my journey. Because if y'all haven't checked that out, you know you need to. Because she puts, she got their whole chapter one discography from the beginning to the end to 2022, basically. And so. You know, it gave me every single album. She got all the collabs. She got everything on there. So if you really want to know BTS's discography, even commercials and stuff, it's on there. So y'all should check that out. But so I saw this as it was a new one. So I was like, oh, I'm going to save that and react to it. So I'm excited to finally, you know, get to it and get into it. So it's about a half hour, so probably longer with me stopping and stuff. So let's get it. Let's go. Captions on. Yeah, turn on CC, even though she speaks English. So, but we'll leave it on. So let's go.
In one of the latest episodes of Run Jin of BTS had 4 famous guests, a singer and 3 comedians. As comedians do, the first thing they do when they enter the room is joke about being there with ulterior motives. They each want to promote something. But this is no problem, a lot of guests do this.
I said that in one of my videos. I said that in one of my videos, one of my recent videos, I think that, yeah, because of this on this episode that I reacted to. Oh, that's funny. See, yeah, tit for tat. You know, it's a mutual benefit. So all them people in the comments, some armies in the comments I be seeing talking about, you know, oh, they just using BTS for clout. They just using BTS for clout. BTS is using them for clout. Like, it's always a tit for tat, unless, you know, there are some that just try to exploit. But you can tell that. You know what I'm saying? Just stop that. You know, armies, stop that. You know? Come on. Unless they, you know, the ones that are really, you could tell they being real fake about it. But not everybody's coming at them fake. You asked me to be on your show, yeah, I'm going to ask you to be on mine. Tit for tat. Like, come on, reciprocity, look at that.
Of conversations within the BTS fandom is the reason why one of these comedians accepted the invitation.
진이하고 약간 사연이 좀 있는 게
Yeah, this was, he ain't even remember.
맛있는 거 먹으면서 얘기하다가 나한테 섭섭함을 한번 토론한 적이 있어.
제가요?
That's what I did.
기대가 있어야 섭섭한 거 아니에요?
그러니까 나도 BTS가 나한테 섭섭한 거
너무 부럽다.
나 너무 궁금해, 뭐지?
예전에 뭐 어떤 방송에서
네.
나한테 인사를 했는데 내가 인사를 잘 안 받아서
전혀 기억은 안 나는데 너무하신 거 아니에요? 너무하셨구나.
It was the same for that.
너무
그래서
섭섭하다.
다리에 힘 주고 앉았잖아. 내가 너에게 그건 아니지. 그건 아니지. 근데 중요한 건 그것도 풀 겸 바로 달려.
좋습니다.
This seems like it's not that big of a deal. This comedian is jokingly apologizing about a past awkward situation, and Jin is joking about it as well. This incident is so insignificant to Jin that he cannot even remember what happened, and he had no problem inviting this comedian to his show. So why is this moment being debated by fans? The answer is a little more complicated than it seems, so please let me finish the full idea. As BTS started growing in popularity, it only became more and more evident how truly extreme, normalized, and damaging power dynamics can be in the South Korean entertainment industry. Most K-pop fans are aware of the importance of respecting your seniors or sunbenims that exists not just in K-pop but in South Korea. It's a cultural thing. It's in their language. It's in all their interactions. Most K-pop fans also know the power that the big 3 K-pop labels have. So we know that the ones with power because of age, popularity, or seniority deserve respect. Junior groups should bow down to their seniors, and not lazily or there can be an scandal. Now, none of this is being praised or criticized by fans. What is actually being talked about now is how this dynamic is perceived by the juniors, especially the juniors with no company seniors or any kind of power. Because BTS started with no popularity, seniority, money, or power, they were expected to accept humiliation by their seniors, to not complain about it, and to show respect either way. Of course, BTS were not the only group to receive this kind of treatment, but they are the only ones who were able to completely flip the dynamic and expose it fully. BTS became the biggest group not just in K-pop but in the world. So now, the seniors who humiliated them publicly or privately a decade ago seem forced to apologize. This creates a complicated and sometimes emotional layer to this very simple clip. Like I've mentioned, K-pop fans know about the ways in which seniors should be treated because seniors call juniors out when they don't do it. But how did the seniors treat the juniors back? In the case of BTS, the response they got when they first started was literally nothing. As artists with no power or fame, they were not approached by anyone around them. In their book Beyond the Story, BTS explains that they were given no attention at the award shows. They were dwarfed by countless established artists who were already beloved by the public. And because BTS was the only group from Big Hit Entertainment to attend, they did not have older colleagues from the company to introduce them to other artists. No one spoke to them, and they could not approach anyone. All they could do was attend the award shows, step onto the stage to give brief comments and thanks, and return straight to the dormitory. The first two BTS albums had low sales that kept increasing little by little. These albums also got good audience reception. But of course, none of these matters to the industry or to other K-pop groups who were light years above them. BTS explained that this indifference by the industry didn't stop them. Let's remember that this treatment was mostly behind the scenes. We didn't know this was going on. So BTS simply stayed silent and continued fighting. What truly shocked them was their first public humiliation. RM and Suga started their musical careers as underground rappers, and in some ways, they left this world to join BTS in the K-pop idol industry. This was not the easiest route to success though, because BTS's journey in the K-pop industry was so difficult. They lacked the resources and opportunities others had in the industry, and in many ways, they could have suffered less in the industry as independent artists or producers. But this risky decision and struggle didn't matter to their former friends from the rap scene. To them, BTS were just like the privileged idols from the big three, and they had to be called out. Ironically, BTS was not invited to many TV shows, so one of their first interviews was at a hip-hop podcast. This was the moment when RM and Suga were publicly insulted.
Yeah,
they were
this just
accused of
irks me
being
every
sellouts,
time.
wearing makeup, performing as girls, and so much more.
방탄소년단이 무대에 올라갔을 때 분장을 한다. 그래서 메이크업을 하는 거에 대한 어떤 힙합과 충돌되는 부분이 있을 것 같은데.
그런 게 아니라 여자.
와.
하고 싶은 게 뭐예요?
네?
하고 싶은 게 뭐예요?
2시간 거리를 오가면서 그러면서 곡을 써서 파는데 불구하고
그러면 지금은 약간 임시로 돈을 벌어서
아니요 그런 뜻은 아니죠. 그걸 바꾸고 싶었어요.
He said they're
그걸
kind
바꾸고 싶었다고.
of. Did you say they're kind of just temporarily using this for money? Yeah, that's why he's nowhere now. Right? Come on.
뭘로?
제가 당시요
미용도 없고 아무것도 없고
They said that like it was a bad thing.
같은 길을 갈 수 있었던 사람들인데 뭔가 그걸
That's what I'm
그
saying. That's
유혹을
what you
못
couldn't
이기고
win over that
같이
temptation. To
All
be
of
broke.
this, of course, was excused and celebrated because this is how hip-hop is. And teenagers Suga and RM were ready to respond with songs directed at everyone who insulted them, including this rapper 10 years older than them. RM said, "Taking an insult like that to our faces and from someone in the same industry. That was when I learned how to respond when you're walking down the street and you get slapped in the face out of nowhere. Another irony is that a TV show finally reached out to RM and BTS, and it was to talk about this incident, which they accepted, by the way. Now, what intrigues me is once again, who are always the targets? There are many rappers in K-pop, and there are many underground rappers who become K-pop idols, but the ones who were called out were the easy targets, the unknown juniors, the nobodies. There is an underground rapper who in 2014 made a popular song dissing many K-pop rappers, although he became a big 3 K-pop idol himself just the next year. But that's besides the point. The interesting thing about this is that the K-pop rappers he dissed were always from small labels, never the big 3. His real competition. So of course, he had to diss RM and BTS. After BTS grew in popularity, the rapper was asked why he dissed them, but he just gave the microphone to his CEO who answered for him, saying that rappers diss each other. In 2024, 10 years after he dissed RM and BTS, the rapper admitted he was too scared of going after a big group.
그때 그런 게 있었거든요. 왜 엑소는 안 건드리? 그때 솔직한 답변으로는 엑소를 건드리면 죽을 것 같으니까.
And this is something I don't see a lot of people talking about. It's true that diss tracks are part of hip-hop, and RM and Suga know that very well. But consistently going after small rappers completely unprovoked, while purposefully avoiding confronting rappers from your same level of fame, I would say it's at the very least lame. But this pattern is common because it works. Some attribute the downfall and disbandment of certain small groups to these unprovoked confrontations by bigger artists. Just keep this in mind. The big 3 didn't debut any groups in 2013. So out of all these 2013 small groups,
look at all them groups from 2013. That's crazy.
Only BTS survived.
Wow.
And in a way, surviving gave them even more trouble because as the unwelcome guests, everything and everyone was against them. People wouldn't call them by their names. They referred to them as those bulletproof best guys. So of course, the only opportunities networks gave the unwelcome guests came with false pretenses.
They killed this. I can't even front. Jimin came out.
BTS was invited to perform a collaborative stage with a K-pop group 2 years their senior at the 2014 Mamas. However, this was marketed as a confrontation, not as the friendly collaborative stage they thought it would be. This trick came at the worst time for BTS. This was a somewhat small, stressful situation on top of a season full of false hope and disappointment. After the school trilogy, BTS prepared a project that put the future of their team on the line. Their first studio album, Dark and Wild, and its single, Danger. They went to the US to shoot their first show, American Hustle Life, while recording their album simultaneously in a garage. They wrote, recorded, and selected songs more diligently than ever. They planned their hardest choreography and then changed it again and again to perfection. They shoot their show until 8 p.m., then they practiced their performances all night and went to the accommodations at sunrise, covered in sweat. They slept for some hours and then they started shooting again. They were so sleepy, they used to sneak into the bathroom to take naps. However, their big project didn't receive any nominations. Suga said, "We suffered so much for it. So why?" About this era, their book says, the grueling practice sessions leading up to the Mama performance were not solely because of the friendly competition. BTS was truly desperate. J-Hope says, all those performances for Danger were really exhausting. When we had that comeback with Danger, releasing the Dark and Wild album, we'd done about 20 music show pre-recordings and then went to a different program where they announced first place. We were told we had to be there, so we went up there live completely out of it. Then it turned out we weren't even candidates for first place, which I think was a big shock. J-Hope's shock was not purely due to their performance on the rankings. V tentatively goes into further detail about the situation. It's fine if other teams are named as candidates for first place. We just need to work harder. But at the broadcasting stations, we'd always be the first to say hello and greet everyone, the seniors and the juniors alike. But some people just ignored us or passed right by. or mocked us for not being candidates for top place. After the broadcast, we all got into the van together. Someone was crying, someone was getting really mad, and someone just couldn't speak. That unspeakable disappointment and that tear-jerking emotion was too much. So their first podcast appearance served as some kind of trap. The multiple invitations to the winners' ceremonies also felt like traps, and their first collaborative stage was also a trap. Seniors made fun of them in front of the camera and behind the stage. Now it's the turn of the variety shows.
Alright, so let's talk about that first. Like, that might have been a trap. The collaborative stage that they labeled or promoted as the fight of the century, battle of the boy band or whatever. I'm sorry, but BTS won that trap. Okay, they killed that. I mean, I did. The other crew was okay, you know, but BTS smashed them. And I swear to goodness, even though I guess was that band out longer than BTS? I guess so. Dude with the fur that kind of, I think I reacted to that. So, but dude, I think I said in that reaction that the dude who had the scarf and all that, like, Suga swag was better. And Jimin and J-Hope by themselves outdanced that other group. Not knocking the other group because they were good. They just weren't better.
BTS was finally getting some real recognition in 2015. The fandom was truly growing, so JungKook had his first solo variety show appearance. JungKook enthusiastically bought food and drinks for everyone as a gift. However, the cast rejected the food and made fun of JungKook for buying it. They accused him of giving them leftovers. The cast gave the food back to JungKook and walked away.
And then he called him weird too.
JungKook seemed shyer than normal the rest of the episode. These are some comments about what happened. You're missing the point that it's variety. It is part of variety to be rude. It's Korean humor. JungKook is not the first or the last to be quote-unquote disrespected on TV. It's variety. Let me repeat. It's variety. Acting rude is honestly one of the mildest things that could happen on variety. I honestly wonder how would you guys have survived if this was second generation, where comments on variety were straight up biting lots of times, and games were physical and taxing. And once again, I need to bring back the topic of this video. In this scenario, JungKook is the junior. He is showing respect. He is bringing a gift. But the expectation from him is not just to show respect, it's also to accept humiliation, which he did the rest of the episode, showing no complaints. He even urged fans to stop voting for him, as to not offend the rest of the cast. Not long after this incident, BTS was invited to perform at the Busan One Asia Festival 2016. BTS were included in the promotions. ARMYs bought tickets and tuned into the online broadcast. However, at the last minute, the event posted a comment in the online broadcast which said, due to circumstances of the artist, BTS will not be appearing in today's broadcast. This was a lie. BTS had their makeup, outfits, and microphones ready. Their fans were there in the audience, but the show ended and BTS was completely cut. After the performers left the stage, BTS refused to leave, and they performed their full set in a stage with leftover confetti while no cameras were rolling. This type of fighting attitude as a response to bullying and mistreatment must have really pissed off the industry. Remember, the Big Three didn't create any groups in 2013, so no 2013 group should survive. But BTS was not just surviving, they started to become a real threat to their seniors. And in this context, it's important to understand the future hostility BTS will receive in the industry. BTS started outselling the biggest of the biggest groups in K-pop. So the easiest thing was to accuse BTS of everything. Big Three fans accused BTS of the illegal practice of sajegi, which basically means that they were buying their own albums. This was at a time when BTS's label didn't have the means to do something like this, especially to the point of outselling the Big Three. Big Three fans accused BTS of mocking the music of Big Three groups when they were just singing along to it. Big Three fans accused BTS of copying multiple Big Three groups, from outfits to common phrases. When BTS received their first music show win, when they held their own concerts, or had any special moments, Big Three fans joined forces in movements of hate so big that BTS has addressed these campaigns multiple times. Just because BTS started outselling everyone, Big Three fans called award shows customer service and made petitions to the Blue House to investigate BTS and award shows. BTS was brought to court and they of course won their case. They organically outsold the Big Three. But many of their fans still believe that for some reason their groups were being sabotaged. You can easily find these fans today. After all these petitions, BTS still won major categories at Mama 2017.
I shut them up real
and
quick.
At the award show, a Big Three group cried. If you search for any of these videos, Big Three fans are still convinced in the comments that their favorite group was crying because they were robbed. Some accused BTS of cheating, while others accused the award show of being biased and favoring BTS, ignoring that BTS simply had the biggest year any K-pop group had globally up until that point. Now you may think, who cares about baseless accusations by fans? This is just a fandom thing that went too far. If senior groups would not even acknowledge BTS backstage, do you really think they wouldn't join this hate train as well? The odds really are against them, but that's behind the scenes, so we don't know with certainty. What we know is that after the hate campaign started, as always, BTS continued fighting. They performed at the Gaon Music Chart Awards in February of 2017. During their performance, the organizers at the event showed a very generic no-signal background, but apparently a Big Three artist used it first, specifically a YG artist. A YG stage producer then posted a picture of the background on her Instagram account with the caption, our hard work, and a puzzled emoji, insinuating that BTS's stage is YG's hard work. BTS copied them. The family of two of the members of the YG group liked the post, which motivated Big Three fans to accuse BTS even harder. Now it was not just fan wars. The family and producers of Big Three groups were then involved, and no statement from Big Hit or the award show themselves clarifying that BTS was not in charge of the background could stop it.
방탄소년단.
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 BTS. BTS.
BTS started 2017 with this terrible situation, but as I've mentioned, their attitude of never letting others stop them finally started paying off. In 2017, BTS became the first Korean group to receive a nomination at the Billboard Music Awards. They attended and won, so that year they had their American TV debut at the American Music Awards. Now the roles start to shift. The ones with popularity, money, power, and sometimes even seniority are BTS. Big Three groups were then losing major awards for the first time ever. And despite their losses, they somehow managed to be the big ending performance at award shows, leaving audiences confused as to why the actual biggest group was not getting the biggest stage. But most times, Big Three groups would simply boycott the shows. If they are not given awards, they are not attending and they are not performing. Sometimes making their company's juniors protest with them. Now, while at the top, BTS continues choosing to do something I don't know I could do. They choose to forgive. After that, underground rapper turned K-pop idol BTSRM, BTS, and other small rappers, RM met him backstage and they high-fived. Although
Because
they are not friends,
that's because RM is a class act. That's why.
they really do seem fine with each other.
디스하고 하셨고 RM님도 바비님의 의도를 알기 때문에 맞받아서 맞디스 해주고 하면서 재밌는 그림이 나왔는데
In 2021, BTS was invited to the variety show hosted by the comedian who rejected Jungkook's food and made him feel uncomfortable. Jungkook reached out to him privately before the show, and during the actual show, they laughed and hugged.
더 멋있어진 것 같아요, 진짜.
나쁜 표현은 늙었다.
아니, 저는 그렇게 표현.
I never said it like, yeah, of course, because JK is also a class act because he learned it from who? The leader. And I think they watch this show, don't they? They actually like this show, which is why they agreed to go on this show in the first place. But yeah, I think the first time I saw Dude after I saw the clip of them, not taking the food 18-year-old JungKook, brought them and stuff and being rude. When I first saw this, I was like, or when I first saw him, I was like, But he is funny. I like him and the dude with the glasses. I can't never remember their names, but dude with the glasses too. So, because I think they're funny, but yeah, like JK, he learned that humbleness from his leader, okay, and role model. But yeah, it was. See, and this too.
Although his brother added fuel to the fire by liking that plagiarism post, BTS seems to be okay with this singer. Jimin even collaborated with him. TV networks that mistreated BTS are now apologizing. That underground rapper who insulted them in their first podcast appearance asks for forgiveness every couple of years to get some attention because he always retracts his apology. And on top of everything, celebrities we thought never had problems with BTS are now jokingly telling the members in their own show that they also disrespected them back in the day. Every year, there's a reconciliation with no real public apology. Having mistreated BTS in the past and being good with them now is almost an achievement. It's something to be jealous of. But what about the feelings of that small group crying in their car after being humiliated on TV and behind the scenes time and time again? What about the hundreds of groups being bullied to disbandment because of unprovoked confrontations started by way
BTS don't do that though.
It's amazing and incredibly mature that the BTS members are continually choosing to forgive and move on, even purposefully hiding the identities of the idols who mocked them in their debut years. But what comes as extremely difficult to process as fans is the overall feeling that comes with this new performative respect given to BTS. And I'm saying performative because many times this respect comes with this backhanded compliment of I show you respect because you have power, not because I actually respect you as an artist or person. When celebrities talk about BTS, how many times have we heard, how can you say that? Armies are going to kill you. I didn't mean it this way. Please don't come after me.
좀 모자이크 처리 좀 해주시겠어요? 잠깐만 뭐야? 나 BTS를 진짜 좋아해. 잠깐만.
Yo, Army's got shook now. Because there's so many of us, and yes, I'm an Army too now, but at this time, there's so many of us that now I've seen, compilations of how other artists view BTS or how the public now, and that seems to be prevalent. They are afraid of Army. He coming after them if they show any kind of disrespect. That it's funny, but then again, is Army coming at bullying people? Because, BTS ain't about that. So are y'all... There's a fine line between defending and bullying. So, but it's funny to see how scared other actors and, other South Korean people are when they might say something that Armies might find offensive. It's hilarious. That's crazy. Our manager has warned us that we should at least know their fate.
This attitude is not new. Remember that the big three rapper didn't diss his actual competition, not because he respected them, but because he was afraid of their power. So when celebrities start showing that they are okay with BTS despite past controversies, they keep highlighting the idea of respect because of power and not because of actual respect. It feels not genuine, and sometimes it's proven to be not genuine. Sometimes apologizing to BTS gives someone attention. It creates jealousy. So how can we even begin to distinguish which one is genuine? And also, should we even think about it? I've noticed that the BTS fandom is very welcoming to anyone who associates with BTS. It doesn't matter if they are famous singers, song producers, backup dancers, or interviewers. This is an overall good attitude, but we need to remember that at the end of the day, this is an industry. The mainstream entertainment industry doesn't always have the exact same type of dynamics between juniors and seniors that K-pop has, but the idea of respect because of power and not because of actual respect exists as well. And just because someone working with BTS treats them nicely or compliments them non-stop doesn't mean that they are friends or that they truly like BTS's work. I'm not the one saying this, BTS is. RM said, "We run into several kinds of artists overseas. There's the kind who are like, oh, you guys are famous these days. Good job, I guess. Go for it." And seem to look down on us a little. And those who are all business and go, I really want to do a song with you. And then there's a third category of people who are oddly positioned between those two. As an exception to these three categories, RM mentions Chris Martin of Coldplay. And by the way, this is the only friendship BTS had a section for in their book. Knowing BTS's story, it's normal for fans to highlight the good interactions. It's nice to see that after everything they went through, BTS are finally receiving respect and common decency. But the respectful interactions we see on camera are not always what they look like. And I believe we shouldn't be pressured to thank, celebrate, and follow the other celebrity for being respectful. Unless I'm an actual fan of their work, I'm not following anyone who says hello to BTS. But that's just me.
That should be most people.
At the end of the day, the BTS members are the ones deciding to move on. They are finally in the position to brush off the bad interactions, accept the superficial ones, and forgive the old ones. And one of the reasons they want to move on is because they want to stop juniors and small artists from going through what they went through. BTS never pretends their juniors don't exist. BTS greets everyone around them. BTS doesn't reject their juniors' gifts. They are the ones giving them. BTS gives their juniors encouraging words. Some idols are even surprised that BTS would be kind, which makes me wonder how other seniors interact with their juniors.
근데 정말 놀랐던 게 너무 저희한테 친절하게 해주셔서 제가 너무 감동받았었어요. 저희 무대도 칭찬해 주시고 맞아 악수도 하고
He said we
What
even
we
shook
know for
hands.
sure is that BTS is purposefully using their seniority and fame to change the experience of junior idols.
아니 선배님이랑 진짜 사실 이렇게 대화할 기회가 없으니까
그냥 말 걸면 되는데.
아 이게 말을 못 걸겠어요. 저도 선배님들한테 다가가기가 좀 어렵다고.
This is one of
사실
my, I must say, on Suchita, this is one of my favorite episodes. This is Hoshi, right, from 17. I really like their interaction. He was forceful in his compliment when he was basically telling Suga, BTS paid the way. Did he say that? No, he didn't say that. But that's what he said. And he kept saying that Suga was trying to be humble king. Like, nah. It was you guys, you guys. He was like, no, you must know this. He was like, no, you must know this. You guys, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be able to go to the West, basically, like we can now. You guys did it. You opened the door for us. Suga's like, we did a little something. He's like, no, I think everybody thinks that. Suga's just probably had to accept, okay, you're right. Yes, we did. It was so cute, though, because he was so polite about it, but he was forceful. He would not let Suga play it off or shake it off. And that's hilarious. I loved it. I loved their interaction. Dude got drunk as heck. They was both drinking. They had a good time in this interview. It was very nice. I liked it. I think I've watched it more than once. That's why I like this one. That's funny.
사실 너무 긴장하고 왔거든요.
왜요?
그 누구보다도 후배들이 오면 상담을 많이 해주는 편이에요.
사실 형한테 너무 감사한 게
This one too.
챙겨주시는
This one was hilarious too. Dude is hilarious.
형한테도 물어봤었어요.
This is
형
TXT.
왜 그렇게 저희를 챙겨주세요?
Some of the members from
형이
TXT.
우리 아니면 너한테 이런 얘기 누가 해줘?
우리는 선배가 없었잖아.
네.
선배가 없었고. 너무 힘들고. 근데 우리는 물어볼 때도 없었고. 내가 안 챙겨주면 누가 챙겨주지라는 생각이 좀 많았었거든.
사실 이런 선배님이 많이 없다고 생각해요. 찐으로 너무 감사하고
He got super drunk.
선배라고 느껴지는 모먼트 있잖아요. 취향이 얘기했던 대로 나는 그럴 사람이 없었다. 근데 본인은 해주잖아요. 나도 저런 선배가 돼야겠다.
나한테 돌려줄 필요는 없고 후배들한테. 이렇게 넘어가면
그냥 공식적으로 하고 싶은 얘기가 그냥 저희는 형들이랑 선배를 뒀잖아요. 당연히 선배님들이 본인들 입으로 얘기하지 않으시겠지만 진짜 이런 사람들이 없다니까요, 세상에. 그냥.
Here's some of the translation of one of the many BTS songs about the dynamic between juniors and seniors and how they want to change it. It could be a strenuous journey. The path I walked may have looked like it's made of flowers, but know that it was a thorny one, with enemies surrounding on all sides. I hope you never forget those who throw flowers onto your path for you. When you're smiling, don't ever forget about those who are crying, because it's your smile that helps them live through the day. When the repetitive schedules erase you, it's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's okay to take a brief rest. Cry out loud when you become to hate the world. When the hands that used to greet you turn into fingers pointed at you. You surviving on snoozes to get closer to your dream. It's okay to rest. Today at least, don't even dream. When you silently show me a faint smile, only then I feel a little relieved. This place is a war zone without gunshots. Your peers are your enemies. The brutal yet beautiful good and evil, determined by numbers. When I fail to kill someone else, I become the one to die. Why do I have to kill someone when this scene is not a boxing ring? I hope you never laugh at someone else's misfortune, because you never know if you'll find yourself in the same situation. Behind you, growing a dream while watching me. I'll always be standing, so don't worry too much. If you're afraid of falling, I'll gladly catch you. So don't suffer like I did.
I knew it, my sugar. Like, okay, wow, it's already there. I didn't expect that to end that quick. Okay, Boris City, I'm feeling this. Yo, the stuff they went through, the disrespect, like that one interview, you know, when their former underground rap peers, when they just was dogging them out, and they was young. Dude was 10 years their senior. Fellow underground rapper who liked them when they were underground rappers, but as soon as they decided to take rap into the K-pop idol field to, you know, get it out there, they started getting hated on and publicly like, and RM's response was so classy. Anybody else would have been, you know, what you say, you know, they're ready to go at it. He was like, if that's how you feel about it. Like, he was so mature. He was what, 18 then, 20? He took it. Suga, he took it too, but you saw Suga, he looked like he was ready to go. But what they do, they made Cypher Part 2, Cypher Part 3, Cypher Part 4, and Cypher Part 2, they went off, okay, on all of them. And he ain't lying. He's like, I think in one of the verses in Cypher Part 2, he was like, what did he say? He was like, you're while you're basically performing for 10 people, I'm performing for 10,000. Like, I brought rap to 10,000. You in the underground, we on ground level. I was like, yo, in Cypher Part 3, yo, I'm just telling you, they got their thing in. And then August D, you know, when his first mixtape, yo, he went off. That's one of my favorite Suga songs, August D. When he's talking about, you know, with his tongue technology, yo, he went off. They went off. RM2 on Joke. They got back. They clapped back hard at their haters every single time some new stuff came out. A new album, a new cypher. Like, I loved it. Oh, I can't imagine what Suga then wrote from that bull from last year. We were supposed to be done with the ciphers. They thought they was done. Then that stuff happened. I cannot wait. He might take the high road. He might not. He might not come out. He might not clap back. But I hope he clap back. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to see it if he does. Like, because he's going to go off, right? But, anywho, all right, y'all. If you enjoyed that reaction, you know, let me know in the comments. Let me know, do y'all watch Boris City Magazine? Do y'all like them? Again, like I said, check out if you want to know BTS's discography, chapter 1 discography, and you don't, I'm telling you, she got everything. Commercials, OSTs, collabs, and the albums. You know? And I think the SoundCloud songs too. Like, she laid it all out in order. Like, so it's banging. So check that out. All right, y'all, hit that like button. If y'all sat here and listened to me rant, you are obviously one of my people. Hit that subscribe button. Click on that notification bell, more importantly, so you'll be notified the next time I drop. And if you think someone else would enjoy this reaction, sharing is caring. So pass it on. Pass it on. All right, y'all. I will see you in the next one. Peace. And yo, bye.